It is the property talk on the property show globally, continentally, or in the East African region. We pick up the personalities and individuals that make sense of the real estate industry. Joining me on the set right now, all the way from Chicago, that is in the USA, is Miss Sylvia Luchini. It's good to have you on the show today.
Great to be here.
Great, awesome. This is about your 10, how many times have you been to?
I think this is going to be my 7th time.
What's special about Uganda?
Well, the people. It's just the best you can ever get all over the world.
Sylvia is the managing director for IHC Global. Before we go any further, IHC Global, I know that you came in for the annual general meeting for Area Uganda, which is our real estate association here. But who is IHC Global and what is his or her part in the real estate sector globally?
Thank you for asking that. IHC Global, it's a coalition who supports urban development, equitable and sustainable urban development. And it does that through a series of legs, one of which is affordable housing, functional property rights, water and sanitation, and all the strategies that will help ensure that cities are equitable and all the people can benefit from it. So particularly, we're here in Uganda to make a real estate market assessment with a gender lens, because we want to identify how women are faring in terms of property rights, access to credit, and income generating activities, including the entrance to the career, the real estate career.
As far as the aspect of, you've talked about the gender aspect in relation to property ownership. What is the situation like in the Western world, and how different is it, and what can we emulate from you?
Well, home ownership in the United States, it's really high. It's one of the highest countries, I would say, that has home ownership, and women are 50 or 50, or there is an equality in who owns the properties. And in Uganda, I know that because of cultural issues, women may not have access to property rights under as I say, communal law. But I think that the progress is being made to sensitize and bring information to women so that they can start owning their own properties.
For all the 8 or 9 so times you visited Uganda, when you look at our real estate and infrastructure development, do you sense any changes, any growth whatsoever?
Yes, I can see a lot of changes. There is a lot of more construction. There is construction, both residential, commercial, and infrastructure. A vibrant city, lots of people, many more cars, many more bodabodos. So I think there is a vibrant and there is a significant growth since the first time.
Have you used the boda before?
Yes, actually I did it once.
How was the experience?
And it was quite an experience, exhilarating experience. I had to close my eyes, some portions of it, but it was great.
Now, speaking of affordable housing, where should our direction be if we're going to achieve a sense of affordability in housing compared to the picture elsewhere in the world?
That's a very good question, and it's one difficult to answer. But I would say that home affordability, you have to try to look for avenues of high density, and that may condominiums, apartments. And it requires the population that's acceptance to that idea. 10 years ago, that was not a possibility. Nowadays, people are embracing living in apartments. So I think that one way would be to foster the development and of buildings for renters, so that you can have affordable rents and people can have adequate living, and then they may be given an option to purchase the apartment if their financial condition will allow that to happen. So that's one avenue that you could pursue.
If you're speaking right now on the property show to policymakers, to the government, to anybody that could be watching right now, what would you say are the key things that we need? Our statistics indicate we have a shortfall of about 500,000 housing units in just Kampala alone. So a lot has to be done. But what is the role of government? What is the role of the people that are watching right now? What would you say to us?
Well, I would say that if you can help with bring down the interest rates, making mortgage loans more affordable, also fostering jobs, because you can have a mortgage, but if you don't make enough money, you don't have repayment capacity, you cannot access it. I think that also promote different ways of construction materials that are going to be more affordable. There is a lot of room for that, for growth. and bringing awareness about the benefits of property rights and trying to find ways of saving monies in order to make that huge investment that it's owning a property.
Great. Almost finally now, we believe that IHC Global's influence in most African economies, including Uganda, will continue in years to come. We'll continue to see you come here. But in the next 1 decade or 2 decades or so, regarding your work, what do you envisage for the future? What is your vision for the future as far as your activations in Africa?
I think that we promote sustainable cities that are equitable, and so I think that what we want to do is try to orchestrate private-public partnerships, because we strongly believe that that's the way to go, and in doing so, we bring the private sector, the government, and the actual individuals that are going to benefit from the services together to find better ways of doing things.
Sylvia Luchini, Managing Director at the Chicago office for IHC Global, and we've just been having a conversation. We're looking forward to the property show, having a visit to Chicago, and get to visit actually what the real estate setup is like in Chicago, and we'll be bringing you all that feedback for us to get as better exposed as possible to get Uganda to where it should be and the African continent at large. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.